Hey, folks, welcome back to the Online Basketball Academy. Coach Danny here, and today we are going to be looking at two easy and effective sideline out of bounds basketball plays that can be used to get an easy basket from the play. Now, a lot of sideline out of bounds plays are focused on just getting the ball in bounds and then maybe setting up your offense, but these two particular plays are focused on getting a quick and easy basket. Now, for these two plays, they can be used for just about any age group. If your age group understands how to screen and how to come off a screen, they can use these as well. They can also be used for older age groups that are looking to get a quick and easy basket, maybe at the end of the game or something like that. Okay, so this first play is called box backdoor. Now, honestly, this is a play that you can use with just about any age group. Essentially, we're going to be lining up in your basic box here that you can see with number 2, 3, 4, and 5. But we're going to use a backdoor cut here to ensure that we can still score and get a quick and easy basket off of the box. Now, like I said, this can be used for just about any age group, as long as your age group understands, at a young age, how to screen, how to backdoor cut, and stuff like that. But from our older age groups, against a man to man defense, we could definitely run this here as well. So obviously, we had the ball in number one's hands. Number one is going to be inbounding the ball on the sideline. And the first thing we're going to have happen is number four is going to set a screen for number two. So we're going to have that to start. Now I'm just going to pull up my pen here now, just one moment. So we have number four, like I said, setting a little screen there for number two. So number two is going to come off that screen. Now, how you want to do that, if you want to fake this way, flare to the ball, anything like that, that's up to you. If you want to, at a younger age group, just kind of have them, come off the screen tight and run up here in a box setting. That, like I said, that's totally up to the coach. But either way, we want to have number two come off of that screen to receive the ball. Okay, so that's our first option right there. Is we want number two to receive the ball. And to be honest, for this play to work effectively, number two will have to receive the basketball. Okay. So that is where we're at there. Now, as that's happening, number five is also going to come down and do the same thing, set a screen over there for number three. Okay, so we see that number five is coming down to set a screen for number three. Again, same type of thing here. How you want to come off of that screen, it's up to you. It's up to the coach. If you're looking at an older age group and you want to come off of it in a flare type of way, you could do that. If you're at a younger age group, you just want to come directly off of it. Again, that's up to you. But we want number three to come off of that screen right here. Now, as that's happening, as number five sets that screen, now the ball should probably already be in bounds at this point. As that's happening, number five is going to pop out. We have number three around the 3-point line. So essentially what's going to happen is when that ball comes into play here for number two is going to be waiting for number three to come off of that screen, and they're going to hit number three with a pass. Now, what's going to happen here is after number one inbounds the basketball, number four is going to come up and set a good screen for them, and they are going to backdoor to the rim. Number three is going to hit them with a pass. So kind of continuous here. There's not a lot of stoppage here. A lot does have to go right for this play to work. So I wouldn't run this multiple times per game. Maybe 1 to 2 times per game, especially if you're an older team when you're playing against, stronger defenses. That might be able to read this, but it can be a quick and easy basket. So let's look at it again. We'll try to match the numbers up the same, although we're not too concerned about the numbers here. So we just want to get into a box again. Maybe this time we'll speed it up a little bit so we can kind of see it in motion. So we have number two coming down here to set a screen for number four. Number four is immediately going to come up here to the 3-point line extended. So we're going to hit the ball there to number four. And as that's happening, number three is setting a screen here for number five. Number five is coming up to the ball as well. Number three is going to extend to the 3-point line. And then as that's happening, number two is coming up again to set a good screen for number one. Number four is going to swing the ball over here. Right, so that's where we're at right now. So two came up here to set that screen. And then we have our backdoor cut to the basket for number one, and that should result in an easy layup. Okay, so this next play is called zip. Now, for this particular play, the focus is going to be pretty much all around number three. Now, you're going to want number three to be somebody who can finish well at the basket, right? You want a strong finisher there with number three, because the play is going to basically center right now around number three. So you want number three to be able to finish at the basket, number one, but you also want them to be able to, move quickly as well. That's another important part of this. Now, for this particular play, this is another one that you're not going to want to run, many times throughout the game. It's probably best to run this one, if you need a quick basket, maybe at the end of the game or something like that, because it is a bit risky, but there is a high potential reward from this one as well. So what's going to happen for this one is number five and number four are going to move together, and they're going to set a double screen down here for number three. So number four is coming down as well, just in case we get a little switch there. We're going to set a double screen there for number three. And number three is going to curl off of that screen and come to the basketball. Right, number one's going to inbound the ball there to number three. Now, as that's happening, number two is also sprinting as fast as they can across the court. And number five and number four are going to move down a little bit and continue that double screen here for number two. Now, why is that happening? That's basically just an insurance policy in case number three can't get the ball. If number three couldn't get that inbounds pass from number one, they're just going to continue moving on. And then we hope to replicate that again from number two. But if all goes well right now and we get the ball into number three, that's essentially the play right there. We're getting the ball into them. There's no help on this side of the floor right now. So we're going to drive number three all the way to the basket. Number three is going in for an easy layup. If we do get a help right here from either number five or number four, that's going to leave one of them open in the dunker spot right here. So we could dish it off to them. But if you have an attacker right here in the number three position, that should be an easy layup for you every time. So let's reset this and take another look at it again in full speed, because I'm sure with talking points, everything like that, it could be a little bit confusing. So let's take a look again. So this play starts again. Number four, number five are coming down here and setting a double screen for number three. Number three is coming off that screen nice and tight, coming to the basketball to try to receive it. As that is happening, number two is sprinting as fast as they can, probably a little bit before. Number two is going to want to take off as soon as the ball gets into number three's hands, or rather as soon as number three comes off of that screen. And then we got another double pick here for number two. Number two is coming for an insurance policy. For that insurance policy, if number two is a good shooter, they can stay here for a quick shot or a curl. Or if you want to replicate the drive, you can do it again. But if not, number three, we're attacking the basket all the way to the basket. Number three is doing with the basketball. And again, if we have a help right here from number four or number five, we're going to dish it off to one of them in the dunker spot. Now, again, this is something that you can do with all age groups, because all you really need to understand for this particular play is how to screen and how to finish at the rim, obviously. But again, if you're an older age group, the same rules kind of apply to this one where, if you're playing against a strong defense and you run this play once, they're probably going to figure it out the second time. So you only want to run this one really one time as a stronger team. And, suggestion would be to save this for the end of the game if you have a player that is a great finisher around the rim.